Good afternoon to everyone. Today I'm going to speak about a very important life skill, that is speaking skill. Today, speaking is one of the most powerful tools we possess. It helps express our thoughts, share our ideas, then build a relationship and achieve success in both our personal and professional lives, no matter how knowledgeable we are. If we cannot communicate our ideas effectively, our potential may remain unnoticed at every time. Then, what are speaking skills? Speaking skills refer to ability to communicate ideas, feelings, and information clearly and effectively through our spoken language. Good speaking involves not only what we say, but also how we say it. Speaking skill include clear pronunciation, appropriate vocabulary, fluency, confident, then active listening, body language, voice modulation. These are the elements work together to make our communication meaningful and impactful. Why we are speaking skill is important. Speaking skill is actually important. Why? Because students who speak confidently can participate in classroom discussion, then ask questions, present project, and perform better in interviews and competition. That's why the listeners should, mainly the listeners should understand the concept of speaking skill, what we convey the message to the listener. So speaking, it's one of the main source of activities to perform our ideas on thoughts to the particular listener. Then a good speech could be on clear and well reasoned and articulate and thoughtful and compiling, witty and touching, convincing and believable. When we start our career growth, you do remember employers value employee who can communicate effectively, whether it is attending meeting or giving presentation or interacting with clients or speaking skills are very essential for the career growth. So to obtain a career growth in a well manner, the person should give on presentations and interacting with the clients with a notable and key of success. Then the next one is building up a relationship. It's very important when the speech we when the speech could reach the listener. Good communication strengthens our friendship, then strengthens our family relationship, then strengthens our professional connections. It helps to understand the others and express ourselves better. Okay. So, what to do before speaking? Do remember, be active listener and be a quick and organizer of your thought and build your speech in your mind. Good communications, as I said earlier, it always strengthens our friendship. It always strengthens our family way of relationship and professional connects. Leadership, actually, while speaking, when you come to the leadership skill, um, speaking activities plays an excellent role. Most successful leaders are excellent communicators. That's why we consider them as a perfect leader. When the person is clear in your thoughts and ideas, he will be the perfect leader and he make a communicate its success in a proper way. So most of the successful leaders are excellent communicator. They inspire and motivate us and influence people through their words, by their way of expression, and by the way of the thoughts and emotions to us, towards the listener. The common barrier to the effective communications, I hope you guys may know it well. Before getting to the common barrier, the just organization of a speaking skill, it's very important. Here, we just categorized into the three part. The first one, it's attractive and it will be on meaningful and it will be clear. So the types of speaking skill, most of the peoples may know that speeches that inform. Okay. Some speech may inform and may give some ideas to the listener. And then some speech make us to follow and make us to do our things in a better way, and it will shows our belief and attitude towards the particular ideas. Then the some speech will entertain, it may create some humor sense, and sometimes the people we all are involved into the creativity and involved into the humor sense and make the audience entertain. So there are the types of speaking skills are there. We have to decide what we are. Then the kinds of speaking skill, it may be on interactive or it may be on partially interactive or it may be on non-interactive. It depends upon the person idea. Okay. Then the tips for effective communication, that is effective speaking skills. I hope you guys may know it well. To avoid a grammatical fault and using a correct way of pronunciation and using a simpler sentences and using the phrases in a proper way, it's very important. While we speak with others, speaking skill is very important. It may be on unnatural accent or it may not be memorized or it will bring a kind of chaos. But when you started to speak in a confident way, the self-confident and your gestures and your body language and eye contact will reflect your ideas and thoughts in a proper way. So while we come into the part called barrier skills while you're speaking, it's many people hesitate to speak because of fear of making mistakes, not only fear of making a mistake, lack of confidence, then they may use a limited vocabulary and they may use the stage. Some people may have a kind of stage fear and fear of criticism and lack of practice. So if we practice our things regularly, practice makes success, right? Person makes success. So keep practicing your speaking skills. Definitely brings you to the next level. These challenges are normal. Okay. The good news is that speaking skills can be improved through regular way of practice. When we started to practice ourselves in a regular way, it definitely give a strong sense of communication. Then, do you think that to develop a speaking skills, we may practice into on group discussions or we may do some group activities whenever we attending communication classes, this set of people and this set of activities we may undergo. This set of activities, when we started to undergo, a good speaker may speak clearly with the correct way of pronunciations and clearly may convey the ideas to the listener. Then, when he started to speak confidently, that confidence attracts attentions and build trust to the particular person. When the confident and not only that, when it build trust, the person may become a leader. So leadership is actually start from the speaking skill. The next one on organizing an idea. When your ideas are thoughtful, the thoughts should be on arranged logically and it will create a sense and it will create a sense of essence to the particular content. Okay. When you started to listen actively, good speakers are also always a good listener in the way of the thought. Do you think that good speakers used to give a blur or blank way of message to the listener? Definitely not. They will entertain us, they may interact us, and they may non-interact us by giving some stories or listen to the particular listener. Then maintain eye contact is very important. Why? Because eye contact helps create a connections with the audience. When you are connected to the audience, your way of communications and self-confidence, it's obviously built up our service. Then uses of appropriate body language, facial expression, the gesture and posture support and verbal communication plays on major role to develop our to develop our speaking activities. So do remember, your facial expression, then your gestures and posture support and verbal communications. It's important to develop our communication skill. Then the next part, it's all about components of effective communications. So components, when you are using on components, the different way of speaking are that is on face-to-face or telephonic or voicemail or email communications. When you started to work on those things, the activities, it's formulated and it will be develop your activities. That activities may be on short speeches or gap activities or role play or discussions like group discussions or any kind. We just have a look. Those way of actions and those way of communications build our confidence by the components of effective speaking. Okay. While the main components of the effective speaking, it's all about on vocabulary. The rich vocabulary help us express ideas accurately. Not only that, when the ideas reaches in accurately, it may improve our reading skills and it may help to find a new words daily. Not only that, using a new words in a conversation, it makes our confident level to the next level. Then when we started to pronounce a word, the pronunciation, correct way of pronunciations makes our speech understandable. Not only that, when we started to express and when we started to give our pronunciation in a proper way, it may feel and it is obviously or it may develop our communications and love towards on English language may improve. Okay. Definitely you will learn our English language when you started to develop your pronunciation. So what are the ways to improve? So here, the ways to improve, here I have described some short speeches or gap activities or role play. When you started to improve communication, do remember, listen to the good speaker, then watch some educational videos like TED Talks and some other seminars and some other presentations where you may get some idea about it. Then practice speaking loud, then loud and use rich vocabulary to develop your communication part. Then fluency plays a major role. Why? Because fluency, it's a means of speaking smoothly without excessive phases. To improve fluency, think in English, practice speaking every day, then engage in conversation. That's very important. Then when you started to do this, then definitely you may have some idea about the grammar, that the basic grammar help us communicate accurately. Don't worry about the perfection, but focus on being clear and understandable. That's the way of your communication. It's important to everyone. The importance of body language plays a major role whenever the people started to communicate with others. The researchers shows that communications is not only on verbal. Communication, it's not only a non-verbal communication. Communication, it's all about your confident level in the next level. The next level of communications may build your facial expression, then hand gestures, then postures and eye contact. It's very important. Positive body language makes a speaker appear confident and trustworthy. For example, when you are strong in communication, you just stand straight and smile whenever it's appropriate. Like whenever you express some stories or saying some stories, you just give your gestures and just give your smile in an appropriate way. Then just show your emotions in an appropriate way. It definitely show off and it definitely make you to the next level. Okay. Then, not only that, maintain eye contact, then avoid crossing your arms is also important. So, doing this kind of activities will definitely help you to move in the next level of speaking. That voice modulation, it's very important. While I get into the voice modulations, Whenever we are in some way of communication in a formal way, voice modulation it's important. When we talk, when we our tone and pitch, volume, it depends upon the person, right? It depends upon the place where we are. If I am in a classroom, my voice audibility may be differ. While at the same time, whenever I am in my cabin, if I speak to someone else, my passive and my way of tone and pitch may be differ. So the monotonous voice can make listener lose interest. So don't use monotonous way. Use some phrase and expression, some tone and pitch while you communicate with others. That's very important. Yeah. Then good speakers always emphasize the important points and for give a phase appropriately and vary the tone and speak at a moderate level in a effective way. Okay. So in end of the sessions, in speaking skill, how to overcome our stage fear. Many people may fear public speaking, even experienced speakers feel nervous. Here are some tips. Prepare well, know your topics thoroughly, practice repeatedly. Then, when you practice in front of the family or family members, it may create a confidence and it may create some ideas and it may create the next level of the next level of your confident level. Okay, start small, speak in small group before you addressing the larger audience. Focus on your message and take deep breath. And do remember, whenever you taking a deep breath, you may and you get into the reduce, that is your anxiety may be reduced off. Okay, remember, confidence comes from preparations and practice. So, prepare it and practice it and do it in a proper way. Activities to improve speaking skill, as we discussed earlier. Discuss topic with friends and classmates is also important. Then your role play is important. Then storytelling and debates and presentations. And then reading aloud while you are reading the newspaper. Then these are the main barrier, and these are the main steps to develop your communication. That is your speaking skills in the next level. Okay. Then tips for students how to develop. Okay, here I would like to conclude with the speaking skill to develop even for a few minutes. Speak English daily, even for some few minutes. Then don't fear or don't care about your mistakes. Listen carefully to good speaker. Read regularly. Practice in competition. Practice speaking in front of the mirror. Record your speech and review it. Build confidence through continuous practice. So these are the major role of listening in speaking skill. Speaking on the listening skill, next we're going to see about the listening skills. Listening and speaking skills are closely connected. Active listening helps us learn new vocabulary, understand pronunciation, improve responses, become better communication. Therefore, to become a good speaker, first become a good listener. Why? Because real life example, many successful personality were not born great speakers as a great speaker. Though continuous practice, they become powerful communicators. Whether it is a teacher or doctor or engineer or entrepreneur or leader or effective communication plays a vital role in the success. The difference between an average people and an experienced speaker, it's not about on confidence or it's not about on what way of thinking. The difference between an average speaker and experienced speaker, it's all about the consistency and practice. So now I would like to conclude our speaking skill. Among the most valuable skills we all develop, it may help us to communicate ideas, build our confidence, then create opportunities and achieve in every area of success. Remember, the more you practice speaking, the more confident and effective you become. Let us make a conscious effort to speak clearly, listen carefully, and communicate confidently every day. Okay, next, I'm going to share the one more topic, that is listening skill. Hmm. Humans. One is mm, the ideas. Thank you. Gonna share the another file. Our next topic is listening skill. Sorry, it takes some time. I hope here I'm going to say a few words about the listening skill. You just have a look. Listening skill. What is listening skill? I hope many people may aware about the listening skill. Listening skill, it's all about the most important skills where the listens, where the speaker, where the speaker is good in their communication, as I said earlier, the listener, then the listening skills may obviously and automatically will develop it. Okay, probably spend more time using our listening skill than any other kind of skills. Why? Because real listening is an active process and listening requires attentions, more care and attentions. So effective listening, it always analyzing on sounds and organizing them in a recognizable pattern and interpreting the pattern and understanding the concept by inferring the meaning in a proper way. So whenever you are listening something, your mind will be what collide with some informations and it may experienced with people in our daily lives or primarily attributes or in their ineffective listening or lack of listening. That's the main problem where every people may look forward. Then here, the listening actually comes from listening, speaking, then writing. I hope you guys may aware about it. Everyone may aware about it, this. Then listening, it's not hearing. Listening, it's you observing some ideas. Here I have given some highlighted in green color, that is hearing and listening are not the same. Hearing is the first stage of listening. Hearing occurs when our ears pick up sound waves, which are then transported to our brain. This stage is our sense of what hearing. Listening, it's also a communication process and to be on successful and on active processing. In other words, we must be an active participant in this communication process. So when we started to do our listening skills, obviously our evaluation of message may take place before the listener can respond to the speaker. So therefore, the listener is actively working while the speaker is talking. So listening skills actually develops from the speakers. Okay. Then how can this happen? It is very simple. Our thought speed, it's much faster than our speech. Then it may be faster than our way of communication, and it may be the faster than what we convey the message to the particular listener. So don't allow the thought speed to race into the daydreaming. Okay, this habit will defeat our attempts to become an active listener. So being an active listener, you have to develop some a sense of qualification. As she is about listening, I think it's not my problem. Listening and hearing are the same. Then good readers or good listeners, then smarter people or better listener. Listening improves with age. Skills are difficult to learn. So these are the fallacious about the listening skills. Okay. Then objectives of listening. So what are the main objectives to learn? To increase one's understanding, to advise or counsel to the particular thing, to relieve one's boredom, listening to the music. It's on main basic adversity of the particular lesson. To research finding, whenever you're taking a research finding, that is, you just find out that 1/4 of our walking time is spent in listening. It's 32.7 percentage of the lifetime listening. Then 25.8 percentage of that lifetime speaking. Then 22.6 percentage of the time writing. So effective listening is the most crucial skill for becoming a successful manager. It requires paying attention. Our attention plays a major role. Okay. Then interpreting and remembering sound stimuli. So this measuring, this research shows that workplace and on average and personal spend about, okay. So it's all about unprofessional way of communication and listening skill. Here we have shared it. The importance of communications, I hope that is listening. I hope you guys may know it well. Communication, it's not complete without effective listening. And attentive listeners always stimulates better speaking by the speaker. A good listener learns more than a indifferent listener. A good listener can restructure vague speaking in a way that produces clearer meaning. So this clearer way of and this way of conveying the message is important. Good listener learns to detect prejudice, assumptions, and attitudes towards their work and towards their listening skills. What is real listening? Real listening has three basic steps. One is hearing, one is understanding, and one is judging. Hearing is just means listening enough to catch what the speaker is saying. For example, say you were listening to report on zebras and the speaker mentioned it that no two are alike. If you repeat the fact, then you have heard what has been said. So understanding it's important. The next part of understanding that is on listening skills happens when you take what you have heard and understand in it your own ideas. Let's go back about what might mean. So here I have given some explanations about understanding and hearing and judging. So you just have a look. Um, Maybe this means that pattern of strips in different for each zebras. It's way of understanding. Okay, then the next move on to the next one, judging. After you sure that you have understand what the speaker has said, think about whether it makes sense. Do you believe what you have heard? You might think, how could the strips be different for every zebra? But then again, that is fingerprints are different for every person. I think this seems believable. So it may create a kind of ideas and a kind of listening skills in a different way of sharing their ideas. Okay. Then active listening process is actually comes from those active listening skill, that is hearing, filtering, comprehending, it's very important, comprehending, then remembering, then responding the main ideas to the particular point, it's important. Okay. Then hearing is a first essential step. I step in the listening process and relates to the sensory perception of sound. So the listener for the processes, the perceived ideas and sounds and so on. For learning to be an effective, hearing needs to be done with attentiveness and concentration. Filtering, the next step involving sensing and filtering of heard sound. So here I have given my explanation in the slide itself. So I'm just reading it out. The heard message is categorized as wanted or unwanted. It may be an unwanted message is discarded. The sense of judgment of individual comes into the play. That is, the filtering process is subjective and the person chooses to retain what makes sense to them. So it's all about on filtering it. Then comprehension, that is comprehending the ideas is important whenever whoever can speak. Okay. The listener understand what the speaker has tried to convey. This activity can be described as observing, grasping, or assimilating. It's important. Whenever you are comprehending the ideas, the listening skills may obviously develop it. So that's why we are attending many comprehension phrases during our school and college level. We may get some comprehension passage, there we have to answer it. Then remembering, it's very important in listening. When you are an active listener, definitely you are listening, that is your remembering skills may develop it. Okay. Your response skill may develop it. Responding to the particular message, it takes a place at the end of the communication, immediately after or later, to show that the message is being received and comprehend to the particular part. Okay. Then the next slide, it's all about on type of listening. I hope you guys may aware about the types of speaking or types of listening or type of communication. Here, I'm going to say about the type of listening skill. Discriminating and listening. It involves identifying the difference between various sounds. It also involves enables one to differentiate between familiar and unfamiliar languages. Then comprehensive listening, it's actually take place, but what is being listened to it. It may also include comprehending the non-verbal messages being conveyed by the speaker or the listeners in a proper way. Then evaluating the ideas. It involves evaluating and analyzing the message being received. Okay. Then whenever you involves into the judging and acceptability of what is said depending on how logical ones find it to be. So do remember types of listening, it's very important and it may be differ in different way of perspective. So then the next one is on attentive listening, then pretense listening, then selective listening and intuitive listening. Attentive listening, I hope many speakers, that is when they started to say some story, the attentive listening may occurs. Then pretense listening, hearing than listening. It means pretending through facial expression that one is listening, actually one is not. Then selective listening, it's all about the message and avoiding the undesired part of the messages. Then listening, intuitive listening. It means through the mind and silencing the other form of internal dialogue. Okay, so this way is actually this way of listening skills. It's a kind of anonymous kind of a stamper while we do it. Then what are the physical barrier? While we all listen the others, I hope you may aware about it. Noise, then poor acoustics, defective mechanical devices, then frequent interruptions, then uncomfortable sitting arrangement, uncomfortable environment, or messages overloaded. The psychological barrier on listening skills, it's all about state of health. Some may be healthy to handle the situations in a proper way. So, state of health, here they represent that fever, pain, or any other form of bodily discomfort makes it difficult to listen and speak comfortably. Then the next one, disability. Whenever the hearing deficiency occurred, may lead to the poor way of listening skill. Similarly, speech disorders of the speaker may make the speech incoherent to the listener. Speaker's accent may also make it difficult to the particular listener. Wandering attentions, I hope you may aware about it. Human mind can process the words at the rate of 500 per minute, whereas speakers speak at the rate of about 150 per minute. Definitely, there the physical, that is on psychological barrier may occur. Okay. Then the next one, psychological barrier, being unsure of the speaker's ability, then personal anxiety, then attitude. It's also a play. Okay. And personal anxiety, where speaker, whenever the speaker gives some past experience and their inputs from the sources, the listeners may have on preconceived notations of the particular speaker's ability. He may perceive the speakers to be well informed or to be lacking in depth or ability, but listening or will not listen to what the speaker has to say. Personal anxiety, I hope you may know it well. Sometimes the listener is preoccupied with the personal concerns and anxieties. This makes it difficult to pursue what is being said by the speaker. Then attitude, the listener may be highly egocentric with a know-it-all attitude and may not listen as he feels that he already knows what the listener has to say. Psychological barrier here, the next one is impatience and emotional blocks. Impatience to particular persons to finish what he says to. He may be intolerant or eager to add his own point to the discussion. So what it result and what it cost as a result, his desire to speak overcomes his desire to listen and thus acting as a barrier. Then come to the next part, it's all about emotional blocks. Emotional blocks, it's all about deep-seated belief in certain ideas may make it difficult for us to listen to the ideas which go through against our belief. We may hear such an idea wrongly or it may get distorted in our mind to match our perceptions or we may completely block it off by not listening to it. Many a time we block sometimes something off completely because of painful memories associated with it. I hope this is true. Right. Then tips for being a good listener. So what are the tips to be a good listener? Let yourself finish listening before you begin to speak. Listen for the main ideas. Ask some questions. So here I have given some explanations about it. You just have a look. Listen for our main ideas. The main ideas are the most important point that speaker wants to get across. They may be on mentioned at start or end of the talk. They're repeated a number of times. Pay special attention to the statement that begin with the phrases such as my point is, I would like to say, then I thought to say something, the things to remember. Okay, these are the main, listen to the main ideas, then points to remember, so on. Ask some questions. When you started to ask some questions, understand some questions, just ask. For example, you might say, when you said that two zebras are alike, did you mean that the strips are different one each? So you start raising some questions to the listener. Okay. And the next one, give some feedback. Feedback, it's important to set back our mistakes. Sit up straight and look directly at the speaker now and then in order to show that you understand. So that is a good listener. Okay, so these are the main qualities for the good listener. At appropriate points, you may also smile or frown or laugh or be silent. This is also a way to let the speaker know that you are really listening to the particular part. Remember, you listen with your faces as well as your ears. Then the listening skills may obviously develop and get into the next level. So here I have taken the sources from the books on the websites, the primary websites. You just have a look. So this is all I have concluding my listening skill. Then move on to the next skill. Concluded it with the next part. I would like to share listening skill. It's over. Then writing skill. So writing skill, I hope you guys may aware about it. Writing skill. So writing skill, if you want to wish something verbally or non-verbally or whatever it may be. So work through verbally. Your way of writing is important. If you wish to be a writer, write. So this help you to do you into the next one. Okay. So here, what are the tips? The writing in introductions is almost oldest form of communication. Then best method to communicate our ideas. Then I lost art in today's age of informations and technology. Then writing as a remarkable place. So here I have given why written communication. It's all about unpermanent record, information for future preferences, then easily distributed, and it's necessary for legal and binding the documentations. I hope verbal, that is writing communication, that is writing skills plays a major role to document the file. Then builds relationship by conveying the message to the listeners and defines our goal and identifying the problem and arrive at a solution in a proper way. Is writing a difficult skill to hone? Yes. Unique talent or understanding mental ability is not necessary for writing. Basic skills to write is on everyone and it shows the best of our knowledge. The basic understand of writing and commitment to write well is needed. The interest to write is also important. Then here, the next way of communication, that is principles of effective writing, it's um, purpose and clarity, then using on that objective, then structurize the thing, then choice of words, then grammar and punctuation, then proofreading and style. It's important in writing skills. Here, pre-writing and writing and revisions and editing, it's important. Nowadays, it takes a major role to improve it. Then barriers in writing, I hope you may know it well. writer's block and lack of confidence and motivations while they write something, inefficiency in English language and lack of practice, then a kind of disturbances. What are the types of writing a technique? The first four different types here I gonna explain it is as descriptive writing, then narrative writing, then persuasive writing, and expositive writing helps to the things in the next level. During schools and college, they make us to you write some essay writing. That essay may be on descriptive writing, or persuasive writing, or argumentative writing, or compare and contrast writing, or any type of the writing. This writing may help us to develop our communication. Okay, look at here. Here I have given a descriptive writing. In descriptive writing, the author does not just tell the reader what was he saying, or felt, or tested, or smelled, or heard. Rather than the author describes something from their own experience through careful choice of words and phrasing, and make some ideas about it. Descriptive writing is actually an always on vivid and colorful and detailed one. Here I given some examples to explain about it. Now move on to narrative writing. Narrative writing is a form of writing that tells a story or event or art in a proper way and in an not an incident. Narrative can be an essay or fairy tales or movies or jokes. It can be on five elements. It may be on plot or setting, a characters or conflict or themes. Depends on. Then persuasive writing, it always give an opportunity to convince someone to adapt to a particular viewpoint. The goal is to get someone to do something or support something, or sound reasoning is required to convince the audience that benefit to the taking actions. So here also I have given some explanations about and persuasive writing. Do you have a look on it? Then next one, it's all about expository writing. Expository writing is to provide a reader with explanations, step into a process, listen to back the thesis. So expository writing plays a major role to inform a reader of why an idea is then valid and how a process or procedure works in a particular point in a concise and easy way of read and using more simple languages. Then mistakes to be avoided in formal writing. So what are the mistakes I hope formal writing, especially in email writing or any other formal way of communications, you have to avoid such mistakes like poor punctuations or grammatical error, then bombastic words or elaborate phrases, complex sentences, and abbreviations, and being vague. Okay. So these are the steps. So these are the steps I'm using this. Mm. So here I have explained listening skills, speaking skills, and writing skills. With the help of my PPT presentation, I have given some explanations about it. We just have a glance and take your own time and give a importance on reading, writing, and what speaking skill. When you start practicing on reading skill, definitely your speaking skill will improve. When you started to speaking to someone with confidence, your leadership skill and your listening skills will obviously improve it. So speaking skill plays a major role. When you started to speak and when you started to listen something, definitely your confidence level will increase and it make you to move next level of confidence. And this confident and this way of conveying the message to the particular listener or particular audience, your way of writing and your way of what delivering the concept and delivering the message may differ. Okay, definitely it will develop it. So do practice and do your best whenever you get some platform. So before concluding the listening and speaking and writing skills, I would like to conclude it with communication skills or essentials in success in education and professional life and personal relationship. Among them, listening, speaking, and writing are the three important language skills that help us receive, process, and share our informations effectively. So I hope I have explained about the listening skill. It's an ability to accurately receive and understand and interrupt and respond to the spoken messages. It is more than simply hearing sound, and it involves paying attention and um, speaker's message, understanding the speaker's message in a proper way. Then types of listening, I have explained it. Active listening, predictable listening, then informational listening, then empathic listening, then characteristics of good listeners and ways to improve listening skills and barrier to effective listening skills. Okay. The main barrier may be on noise and distractions and lack of concentrations and personal biases and adjusting what emotional reactions. While you come into the speaking skill, it's a process of expressing our thoughts, ideas, feelings, and informations through spoken languages. So, importance of speaking skills, it's build our confidence and it build our academic success and build our career opportunities and build our leadership qualities and it strengthen our social relationship. So, main element of effective speaking, you may know it well, it's on all about pronunciations, vocabulary, fluency, grammar, and voice modulation, and body languages. So, the main characteristics of good speaker, how he maintain the eye contact and using the vocabulary and using the ideas in logical way and engaging the audience effectively, it's important. So, we have some ideas to improve our speaking skill, that is practice speaking daily, then participate in discussions or debates and use some new ideas and try to evaluate and record your ideas in a proper way. Then common way of that is writing skills, its ability to communicate ideas and informations and emotions through written language is important. So writing skills facilitate effective communication. Not only that, it may give some academic performance in a proper way, in a professional way of success. And it develop our critical thinking and it will give a permanent record of information. That is the writing skill, it's important. Okay, it may give a clarity, then accuracy, then concise and creativity in a engaging and interesting way of communication. Then types of writing, it tells stories and narrate. The types of writing we already gone through it. That is narrative writing, descriptive writing, expository writing, persuasive writing. I hope you know it well. Rewriting and drafting and revising, editing, publishing, it's also a kind of way to improve our writing skills in the next way of practicing level. So then the next, it's all about listening. Do remember, listening will do our receiving and understanding our information in a proper way. Then speaking skill make you are expressing our ideas orally. Then writing skills, expressing ideas in a written form. So by concluding this, listening, speaking, and writing are essential communication skills that contribute to an academic achievements, then career success, and personal development. These skills can be improved through continuous practice and patience and active participations in communication activities. So do remember, listen carefully, speak confidently, and write clearly. These are the three keys to effective communication and lifelong. Thank you, everyone.